Hi, my name is Nikitha T, and today we're going to learn about dancing raisins. For this experiment, we're going to need vinegar, baking soda, raisins of course, as well as a glass of water, though you should only fill it about 1/3 of the way so that you can add vinegar to it and make sure that it doesn't spill over. So, to measure all of this stuff, we're going to need measurement tools. First, you want something that can measure in tablespoons, and you also want something that can measure in teaspoons. Now, let's get started. First, we need 4 tablespoons of vinegar. So, just gonna hold it over there and pour really gently. That's 1, that's 2, 3, and 4. Okay. Now that we are done with the vinegar, we're going to need 3 teaspoons of baking soda. Remember, when you're doing this, you want to drop the baking soda in slowly so that it doesn't fizz up too much to the point where all of the liquid is now spilling out of the cup. You'll see why that's necessary in a second. Do you see all that bubbles? Oh, well, we tried. That's why we don't fill it up way too much, because there are a lot of bubbles that are created. But that was only 1 spoon, and we're going to need 3. The second, and this is the 3rd spoon. So now that we've got the baking soda in there, we'll give it a quick stir so that we can mix the baking soda and vinegar in with the water. So now, if you listen really closely, you might hear a little bit of fizz, like sss. And those are because of the bubbles. Now, once this settles a little bit, you might be able to see that there's some little specks slowly going to the top. Now, you might ask, what are those things? Those are bubbles, little tiny itty bitty bubbles. But why are these bubbles rising? And how do they form? Do you know? That's a great question, and we'll answer it near the end of the experiment, where we can see what other important and amazing things these bubbles can do. So now that we've mixed in the baking soda and the vinegar into the water, it's time to put the raisins in. For this, so we'll put in a few raisins. So now, it takes a little bit of time because the bubbles need to accumulate on the raisins. The bubbles accumulate on the raisins at touch, and the little air pockets that are in the little divots or holes in the raisins. And so slowly, all of the bubbles inside of the water, vinegar, baking soda mixture are coming onto the raisins. When those bubbles get to be enough on one raisin, you'll see that the raisin does something pretty amazing. But for now, we're going to have to wait about 5 minutes till the raisins, oh, never mind. Look, there was one raisin already going up, and there's another. All of these little raisins are being carried to the top of the liquid by the bubbles. How are these little bubbles so strong? That is a great question, and it all has to do with what those little bubbles are made of. Those little bubbles are made of something called carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is a gas, just like the air we breathe in. Coincidentally, we also breathe carbon dioxide out after we breathe in air. That was carbon dioxide. And now, those little bubbles have carbon dioxide after the baking soda mixed with the vinegar. that gas is lighter than what its surroundings are made of, the liquid, which is water and vinegar. Because it's lighter, it's going to rise to the top. And now that it's situated itself onto the raisin, it's also bringing the raisins up with it. So now let's answer those questions that we thought were really important at the beginning. Why do raisins dance? Well, it's because all of the carbon dioxide bubbles gather onto the raisin and then send it right back up to the top. But why does it come down again? That's because all the bubbles that touch the surface pop. And now that there's no more bubble to hold up the raisin goes down again. But not to fear, the bubbles come back because the baking soda and the vinegar react again, or they come together again to create more carbon dioxide, bringing the raisin up yet again. Here's a close-up view of what's going on when the bubbles are accumulating on the raisin, causing it to rise and then come down when the bubbles pop on the surface. This ability for the raisins to float or rise in the water is an interesting scientific concept called buoyancy. Buoyancy is defined as the ability to float in water, or generally a liquid. This means that the raisins are buoyant as they are able to rise to the top. They're not all the way buoyant because they themselves alone don't rise to the top, but they're nearly buoyant because they're able to do so with the help of our favorite friend, the bubbles. And that's the mystery of the dancing raisin, and this is a fun and easy experiment that anybody can do at home, no matter what age. It's always fun, but best for people in 1st through 3rd grade. Have a good day, and I hope you enjoyed the experiment as much as I did.